Mr. Collins, do you have a mic?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to call the special meeting of the Carroll County Economic Development Authority to order. Let's stand, have our pledge and invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father, thank you for this day. We pray that you would guide us in the business of this county, the EDA. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, the reason we call the special meeting is to obtain authorization for the rebate of the refund of the taxable assets paid by Virginia Produce. And I would need a motion for the board to authorize the Board of Supervisors to reimburse the Carroll County EDA to make the payment to Virginia Produce.
Are we skipping over citizens' time? Or is anybody have
I'm going to delay that to after our resolution.
Okay.
Do I have such a motion?
I'll make that motion. Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Would you like to read your resolution?
I will. Yep. Whereas the Carroll County Economic Development Authority has confirmed that the final tranche loan payment for the project number 3299 was made by Virginia Produce Company in January of 2021, and whereas the Tobacco Commission has confirmed that the company fully met their performance obligations, job and wage obligations, and capital investment obligations, and whereas the last remaining item is the grant based on taxable assets in the amount of $43,895.60. Now, therefore, be it resolved that on April the 12th, 2021, the Carroll County Economic Development Authority requests from the Board of Supervisors reimbursement in the amount of $43,895.60 to the Carroll County EDA.
Do I have a second to this resolution?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and resolution. Second. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Resolution and motion is carried. Okay, at the last meeting, we had a motion to lease parcel 82184 to Virginia Produce for an amount of $1,000. Mr. Bryant, you want to discuss the response on that?
Yes, so the price that we set, just put it bluntly, was too high. It was not received very well. And so we are recommending, instead of $1,000, that we let this land go for $200.
Okay, that was the response from them. They made an offer of $200. And if the board wishes to accept the entertain a motion, that would make it will stand as is.
So we're going to let him use it for $200, and he used it for free last year.
That's his offer. We can accept it or reject it. Do we know what benefit, in terms of financially, it benefits the one who's leasing? I mean, he's sowing it in something, is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's called sorghum grass, or no, not sorghum. It's called
Something to make hay, or is that what it is? I think he mowed it.
I forget what it was called.
Sorghum Sudan.
That's what it was, Sudan grass.
And that is an annual. It will be barren this year because You have to resow it. If there's, weeds or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's mowing that. The going price for before round bales is somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 to $30 per. And that parcel is 20 acres as the tax parcel. But he's saying that the usable portion that he can use is between 6 and 8 acres. So essentially, he's offering about $25 per acre. And basically, what the board needs to say is, is it benefit us to dig it for 1 year? Do we leave it buried? He essentially communicated he was willing to offer $200. If not, it would stay as it is. Okay. Hearing no action, all minds and hearts are clear, and we'll move on. Okay. The last item would be citizens' time. Do we have anyone that wishes to speak? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Before we adjourn, I have and I discussed with you on Friday, Ms. Edwards, a written complaint that I'd like to be reflected in the minutes. I have consulted with legal about this. I just feel like after last week's meeting, we need a better form of function. As we can see in this letter, the meeting about this today was held on the 8th. We were not informed until Friday, and I know Ms. Carter, we have something else that we answer to, and it was very hard for me to get there today. I personally felt like it was on purpose. That's just my feeling. And I will move on and read this if it can be reflected. Number one, I still chose the urgent needs meeting today, even though we have discussed items still on the agenda. With the rise of this emergent need, I'm concerned as to why it may be at 12 o'clock today. If the topics were of emergency and were already bypassing state code, why could we not have met that when the issue arose on Friday evening or Thursday, now that we know, or later today? The Board of Supervisors doesn't meet until 4, so we could have delayed the meeting. Not to mention that legal counsel did make the recommendation we hold our emergency meeting on April 14th, and the recommendation was bypassed. It has been my experience that meetings held in the middle of the day are less convenient for citizens and conveys a message of the lack of transparency. Number 2, the lack of communication during this process is appalling to me. Had a citizen not notified me after seeing it on the county calendar of events, I would have questioned as to whether or not I would have even been notified. If a time-sensitive issue had arose, a simple email to the board asking if we could meet would have been more appropriate. I would again question transparency as to how this emergent meeting was applied to the county events calendar when our normal meetings weren't even listed last week, and when the EDA director was questioned about the time of our meeting last week, he was unsure. Number 3, I'm unsure why these items have made their way to an emergency meeting with an open session agenda when they've previously been discussed in closed session and taken priority over other items that are as equally important. Number 4, I signed the Model of Excellence when I was appointed to this board, and it is my understanding that all of us signed it. It reads as follows. Recognize the worth of individual members and appreciate their individual talents, perspectives, and contributions. Help create an atmosphere of respect and civility where individual members, county staff, and the public are free to express their ideas and work to their full potential. Conduct my personal and public affairs with honesty, integrity, fairness, and respect for others. Respect the dignity and privacy of individuals and organizations. Keep the common good as my highest purpose and focus on achieving constructive solutions for the public benefit. Avoid and discourage conduct which is divisive or harmful to the best interests of Carroll County, and treat all people with whom I interact in the manner I wish to be treated. The parliamentary procedure from our last meeting does not adhere to the model of excellence. Number 5. In accordance with Robert's Rules of Order and accepting such rules as a model for parliamentary authority, Chapter 15, page 432 through 435, specifically reference the duties of the presiding officer. In addition to 11 identified duties, reference is also made that the presiding officer would do well to bear in mind that no rules can take place of tact and common sense. The level of disrespect shown to a citizen during citizen's time and to myself is unacceptable. The lack of professionalism and contradictory statements that continue to be made make us as a board look incompetent and untrustworthy with no regard to integrity. We each were appointed to the EDA as servants to the citizens, and it's important that we remember that as we go forward. That's all.
Well, Mandy, I appreciate your comments. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your facts. This board voted unanimously to move our meetings from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock so that you could attend.
You're right, we did.
Okay? This meeting needed to be called because of the emergency. Virginia Produce made their tobacco payment in January.
You're right.
We did not make the full payment.
We
So we
discussed
needed
that
to
on Monday.
address that. We also needed to not delay the reimbursement of their taxes since they've met all their obligations for another month or two. And it had to be done by today in order for the Board of Supervisors to have that by this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So
And what I said was, if you had the meeting with Virginia Produce on Wednesday last week, we didn't know anything about this meeting until Friday. A common courtesy, I feel like, to all of us on this board, because we all work, would have been to say, hey, would anybody be willing to meet this afternoon or Friday afternoon, or maybe even at 3:30 on Monday? Give the Board of Supervisors enough time before their meeting to do that. That's the point I was making.
Well, your point is taken. There was a number of details that we had to work out, and you called me before I had a chance to call you. I called Kay and Martin after I talked to you, and I had talked to the other three before that time. I will keep everyone informed, but there has to be some background so that you know what you're doing. We appreciate your comments. We'll do our best to move forward. Keep in mind, this is a board. No one has to show up. We need a quorum. None of us are indispensable.
But if that's the attitude that we have, then we shouldn't be serving.
No, that's basic business and common sense.
You're right.
I appreciate your comments. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Uh-huh.
All opposed, no. Meeting is adjourned.